Yeah.
It's like, why are expats leaving the Philippines? It's always some kind of, you know, negative thing. He's been here
Mm-hmm.
for 8 years, and it's like,
Oh,
it's, that's a long time, really. I mean, think
yeah.
about it. So,
You wanna take that way, so that is?
sure. So, anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening, and it's like 20 minutes, so I can't listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, after about 5 minutes, he talks really slow, and his voice could actually put you to sleep easily, right? So I go right to the comments because then I get an idea what and it's all a bunch of guys. Yeah, medical here. New guy. Went to like the best premier hospital, and he hadn't been feeling very good for quite a while, and he goes there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like they just prescribe him, vitamins and stuff, and he still feels really crappy. So he decides, he's still getting worse and worse. So he decides to go back to the States, and guess what? He's got cancer. He's got cancer of the bones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, if he would have stayed in the Philippines, he would have died. It's like people in the United States are constantly misdiagnosed, right? I mean, it happens
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Doctors are imperfect, right?
Yeah.
So, and in the Philippines, you go to the hospital or doctor, and all they do is prescribe you medicine. It's like, yeah, that's what they do in the United States too. It's
Yeah.
like, what the? And that was the theme. He's like, let's get down on Philippine medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is up to date and to the standards of the U.S.? No. Are the doctors pretty much the same everywhere? Yep. They misdiagnose shit all the time. Their go-to thing for everything is prescribed medicine. That's what they do. That's what they've been taught to do. That's what pharmacies want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. Sorry, it's the same everywhere. And then, then I get in there, leave a comment. It's like, well, pretty much everybody here isn't in their late 50s to 70s or older, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all stuck in our ways. We're not very what's the word I used? We're not very flexible anymore about
Mm-hmm.
anything. So, and which makes everything harder. I said, you can go anywhere, in the world, any country, and find fault with it. Why did you guys leave the U.S. in the first place? Or why did you leave Europe? There was reasons. After you've been here for a while, you tend to forget the reasons why you left in the first place. Maybe because you couldn't find a good mate. Maybe because you couldn't afford to live there and
Mm-hmm.
retire. Whatever the reason, you left because it wasn't an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but there is no ideal situation anywhere unless you have endless amounts of money. Then you can buy ideal an ideal world wherever you go. It doesn't matter. If you have lots of money, you can have ideal living situation. But if you're like, all the guys on here, it's like there's no perfect place to be. You could be back in the United States, barely getting by, or you could be here living fairly comfortable. Have a helper in your house,
Mm-hmm.
actually affordable health care, very affordable health care. Is the government here crooked? Does everybody know? Yep. Are things broken here? Yep. Are things great in the U.S. or in Canada or in Europe? Nope. So it's like, just fucking shut up. And then I pretty much just said, it's a lot easier to be how did I put it? I said, it's a lot easier to be thankful for the good things in your life than to constantly remind yourself of the bad things around you.
Yeah.
What should make you totally unhappy and cynical and everything else. And that's pretty, and I just, it's just like, we're all at the end of our lives. Most of the good times are behind us. Our health is waning. Our physicality is waning. things aren't, our bodies are, aren't 30 years old again or 20 years old again. We're, in the twilight of our life. Just be happy for the blessings you do have, which are many. And stop complaining about the things you can't change. Just be okay with them. Let them go. Just let that shit go, or it'll eat you up inside. That's basically what I said. And I know a lot of guys will look at that and go, "Yeah, I probably should just stop complaining," because it's like old guys complain. It's like, it's like, shut up.
And why we staying there in the first place?
Yeah. Well, it's the reason you came here in the first place. When you got here, did you expect this to be paradise? You probably didn't. You probably found all kinds of things that were great and tons of things that weren't. So concentrate on the good things. Don't let all that negative shit, ruin your life. You're going to get back to the States if you decide to leave and realize, the grass isn't any greener there. I should have just stayed in the Philippines. Yeah, if you're going to have to do anything with the government, is it going to take hours, weeks, or months, maybe even years and something? Yep, that's the Philippines. Are you going to get the best healthcare in the world? Nope. Is it going to be adequate? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you knew the first 6 months you got here, all the stuff that was wrong with the Philippines. Here you are 8 years later, still complaining. It's like it's a you problem, not a Philippine problem.